Now let's take a look at some of the DVR features of the ZapperBox. The simplest way to start a recording while I'm watching TV is by pressing the record button on the remote. So if I do that, that starts recording the current show that I'm watching. You'll see a red dot to the left of the title in the channel banner. That red dot indicates that this show is currently being recorded. Now, if I want to stop the recording, all I have to do is, again, press the record button on the remote. That will prompt me if I want to stop the recording, or I can cancel and continue recording this show. You can also start and stop recordings from the guide. So if I press the guide button on the remote, you can see the today third hour on the encrypted ATSC3 channel is being recorded right now. Let's say I also want to do a second recording, work it on wombats. So if I highlight the cell and press the record button on the remote, I get a red dot in that cell indicating that program is also being recorded. Since I have a dual tuner ZapperBox, I can record two programs at the same time. So both Today Third Hour and Work It on Wombats are being recorded currently. Now if I attempt to set up a third recording, Nova, if I press the record button, now I get this menu because I can only record two shows at the same time. And this menu is prompting me to decide which one of the two existing recordings I want to cancel and replace. So if I choose to replace Work It on Wombats, then that's a straightforward case where ZapperBox stops recording the Work It on Wombats and start recording the Nova on channel 8.3. But if I choose to replace the Today Third Hour, this is a special case because I'm tuned to that program. I'm tuned to channel 11.1. So in order to replace that recording with the Nova on channel 8.3, the ZapperBox has to tune away from 11.1 to 8.3. And because of this special case, I will get this prompt that's asking me whether I want to allow to tune away from 11.1 to 8.3. I can say okay, or I can cancel. I can do nothing, and after 10 or 15 seconds, this menu times out, and the recording starts on Nova 8.3. So you can see Work It on Wombats. And if I get out of the guide, you can see we're no longer tuned to 11.1. We're tuned to channel 8.3. So if I go back into the guide, again, you can stop a recording. If the cell is highlighted, you can just press the record button and that will stop the recording. Now in here, this Rex Steve's Europe episode has two red dots. The two red dots indicate that this is a series recording. This episode is part of the series recording that I've set up. So if you have the 14-day guide data subscription, you're able to set up recordings from the future cells in the guide. Now, if you don't have subscription, you can always set up recordings from the current, the live programs, the programs that are currently being broadcast. But if you decide to set up a future recording in one of the future cells, you have to have the 14-day guide data subscription. So let's say this Rex Steve's Europe, I want to cancel or edit this recording. So if I highlight the cell and press OK, I get this recording options. So you can see I've set up a record series, and I don't, also no duplicate episodes. So I can go ahead, if I want to edit this recording, I can say cancel. And, if I wanted to, I can choose it to a single recording. For example, let's say if I want to change, if I were recording a sporting event, and the game may go on beyond the scheduled time, maybe I want to set up to stop the recording 1 hour later. And also, you can change the start time if you wanted to. And once you're happy with your settings, this keep for is grayed out right now. That's something that will be added in the future updates. So at this point, if you're happy with it, you can say record. Again, this is a series recording, so we get 2 red dots. As I mentioned earlier in one of the earlier tutorials, while you're in the guide, if you press the Zap key, you get these 4 arrows, and that puts you in turbo mode. Now I can hit the right arrow key and move by a full day in the guide. So you can see the date on the upper left is changing Saturday, June 22nd, 23rd, 30th, and July 1st. Now, if you press the Zap key again, that puts you back in the regular mode. In here, again, you can see the islands without cars. It has 2 red dots indicating that this is part of a series recording. The Rick Steves Europe here has 2 white dots. The white dots indicate that this is part of a series recording, but it is being skipped and not recorded because it's a duplicate event. You also get the banner here telling you this is a duplicate and will not be recorded. Now, if there were no dots at all, you would not know that this is part of a recording. So the 2 white dots are there to tell you it is part of a recording. There are no issues. There are no conflicts or anything. It's just this is a duplicate recording. And since I selected I don't want any duplicates, then it is not being recorded. I have 2 white dots. Hope that makes sense. So now let's go to the DVR page from here. Now you won't get this menu on top. This is a feature that has not been released yet. But if you press the DVR button on your remote, that should also take you into here. Now, this one is the Work It Out Wombats. I have several recordings in here. Here's one from May. These are from June. This one is the one that we did today. On the menu on the left, you can select to play an episode, delete. You can select delete all. You can choose to show all the episodes, or you can display episodes for June, May, so on and so forth. So let's say I want to play an episode. I can go to play and say okay. Now I get the play button and I can choose any of these episodes that I want to play. So let's say I press OK. That starts playing that episode. Now while you are playing back a recording, you can always go back to live TV and stop the playback by pressing the live TV button on the remote. So the live TV will stop the playback and takes you back to watching live TV. In this case, I can also do it from the menu on top. So now the playback stopped. I'm back to live TV and I'm on channel 8.3 and the Nova program is still being recorded. So let's go back to the DVR again. Now you can delete a recording from here. You can say delete episode and then you get the delete button. You can choose any of these episodes you want to delete. Let's say, for example, I want to delete the one that we just recorded earlier. I press OK. And that episode is now has been marked for deletion. It hasn't been deleted yet, but it's been marked to be deleted. And in here, if I wanted to delete multiple episodes, I can just choose them. I can also undelete. Again, remember, they have not been deleted yet. They've just been marked for deletion. Now, if I want to just delete that one single episode and I don't want to leave this screen, I have to come here and say delete selected episode, and then I can say delete. All right. But if I mark this episode for deletion and I'm done, I want to get out of this page, then all I have to do is just exit the page, left, and it will ask me, you want to delete? Yes. So now if you see, we had 3 episodes, now we only have 2, so that episode has been deleted. Here's the today episode. Same thing. Now, if you want to delete all the episodes for a particular show, you can just select this and say yes, go ahead, delete. And now you can see that whole poster is gone because there are no episodes left for that particular show. Now, this Nova is the program we're currently tuned to, and it's being recorded. This blue dot indicates that there are some new recordings in here that have not been played yet. So, for example, here the white line with the 1 minute to the right of it indicates this is a 1 minute recording and has not been watched yet. This one has been partially watched. The red line indicates the portion of that 2 minute recording that's already been watched. So if you have a new recording in a poster or a folder of recordings, you get the blue dots. The blue dot indicates there are recordings that have not been watched in that particular poster. Now this one has a blue dot and a red dot, meaning that there's at least one recording that has not been watched yet, and also there's a current recording in progress. So you can see the red dot. Now if I highlight that cell, I get the stop button. So if I choose that, say OK, that will stop recording that episode. So this is another way. Remember, we could stop the recording from the Watch TV, we could stop it from the guide, and we can also stop it from here. Okay. Now let's go to the schedule page. And the schedule page, these are the programs that are, this is the recording schedule, basically. This is today, this Nova program is being recorded. Recording is in progress. I can press the Zap key to stop the recording. Again, this is another way to stop the recording from the schedule page. So if I press the Zap key here, that will stop recording that program Nova. Now this is a future recording. Rick Steves Europe is part of the series recording. If I also want to cancel that particular single episode, not the whole series, just that one episode, I can press the Zap key, and that will mark that episode for deletion. Okay. Now, at this point, if I go back to the left panel, or if I exit the DVR pages, then that episode that I marked for deletion will be permanently removed from the recording schedule. Okay, so let's say I go to the left side, I go to the schedule page. It will ask me, do you want to delete this recording? Say yes. Okay. Now you can see the Rick Steves Europe. It has 2 white dots. It no longer has the red dots. And if I highlight it, it tells me that this program was canceled by the user and will not be recorded. Okay. And now go to the series recording. These are all the series recording that I have set up. Rick Steves Europe, DW News. Here's our Rick Steves Europe. Now, one thing I should mention, currently, if you set up a recording for a particular show on one channel, and that same show is also being broadcast on other channels, You have to set up separate series recordings. Otherwise, that show will not be recorded on the other channel. So for the Rick Steves Europe, there are episodes on channel 8.1, 30.1, and also 8.2. So I have 3 separate series recordings set up for all those 3 channels. That's the way it works currently. It may change in the future, but I just want to make you aware of it. That's the way it works currently. And Saturday Night Live, this is another series recording I've set up on an encrypted ATSC3 channel. It has the key and the colored signal icon indicate this is an ATSC3 recording. Now we go to the manual page. Now, if you don't have 14-day guide data subscription and you're trying to set up a recording in the future, since you cannot do it from the guide, you have to do it from this manual page. Let's say, for example, I want to record on 8.4 the kids program, and I'm going to do it on, let's just say today. I want to record from 10 to 10:30, and I can do it daily. I can do it once, Monday through Friday, excluding the weekends, or I can do it weekly, once a week. Let's say I want to do it once. And if I press OK, it will prompt me to confirm to schedule the recording. And if I say OK, that will be scheduled, and that puts me on the schedule page. And you can see here, this is the one that we just set up today. This is the manual recording we set up. Now again, if I change my mind, I want to delete it, I just press the Zap key, and that gets rid of it, cancels that recording. So again, if I do left arrow, it says this will be permanently deleted. That's okay. It's gone. So now here's the history page. The history page shows you basically a log of all the recording events. You can see there are a lot of user cancels. These are all the recordings that were canceled by the user. There are some duplicates. This was a duplicate one that didn't record. This is a successful recording. All right. Now you cannot delete the history. The history will maybe 3 or 4 months of a history is maintained, and then anything beyond that will automatically be deleted. But currently, you cannot delete the history list. It does not take a lot of room on your disk. It is not stored on your external storage, and there's really no issue. You shouldn't be concerned about that. Now, if I press the menu, get out of the DVR pages, you can also set up recordings from the search page, but we will cover that in a separate tutorial. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section, and thank you for watching.